this case is probably going to be over before it started, because this is just him being strong-armed into not only testifying, but to not even having his right to plead the fifth is crazy. Or as Miss Love said this morning, remember, Miss Love said, if you lie, if you overtly lie about something, like if you tell a bold-faced whopper, oh my gosh, showing your age there, Judge Glanville, then they can indict you on that particular charge. I mean, that particular false statement. Lil Woody says, that's what they're trying to do. Kayla says, that is what I was saying. You will be right back here. This is a no-win for Lil Woody. But if you say something that you did not do, like you admit to something you know you did not do, whether you, he says, like murder don't have like no statute of limitations, right? Miss Hilton says, but if you didn't do it, I can't charge you with something you didn't do because I don't have any other evidence but you saying. Can y'all imagine being in this situation on Lil Woody's side? I mean, I get, and I'm with y'all. A lot of the issues he's going through, I mean, they're self-inflicted, right? He surrounded himself with certain people. He put himself in this situation, but we're talking here about the justice system, right? And what is supposed to be fair. I just can't imagine having to be in this situation, not knowing the law as well as you should. Definitely not knowing the law as well as a 20-year judge, assistant district attorney, and having to figure all this out. This has to be crazy, especially when you have a family, when you have kids, and you're not knowing what's going to happen. You sign a piece of paper or you go on the stand. What's going to happen in the streets? I mean, this would drive the strongest person crazy. She says, but if you say something that you know you did not do, like you admit to something you know you did not do, whether you something, and he said like murder don't have like no statute of limitations, right? And she says, but if you didn't do it, I can't charge you with something you didn't do because I don't have any other evidence but you saying it. But if I did have some other evidence of you saying it, well, then you're pretty much screwed. Lil Woody says, but y'all don't like something. Miss Bumpton says, you can charge him with false statements and he will be back in jail. That's what I'm trying to say. Miss Hilton says, but if I know that you're lying about that, I don't intend to do that. It doesn't matter. You can still do it. If I know right now he's lying, I know he's lying. I'm not going to charge you because I don't know your reason for doing that. What? But I'm not going to charge you when I know you didn't do what you were trying to say you did. And that could be a part of this. Y'all see why Lil Woody didn't want to testify? I know you didn't do it. But it's up to the judge to do that, says Lil Woody. Miss Hilton says, no, it's up to the state to bring charges. Judge Glanville says, I don't have anything to do with that. Miss Hilton says he has nothing to do with bringing charges. That's up to the state of Georgia. So can Miss Hilton make a phone call to the sheriff's department and say, hey, y'all need to go and see if you could pull the surveillance from that store and see if Lil Woody was there? I don't know. That's just me asking a question as a regular Fulton County resident. Lil Woody says, can I call? Can I talk to my family? I will make my decision right after I hang up the phone. Miss Bumpus says he's saying he hasn't been able to speak to anybody. Miss Hilton says his sister just called us. She's something. Lil Woody says, y'all done me wrong. Y'all just hold me in jail. Don't give me no PIN number. Oh, no, nothing. Dang, Miss Hilton says, we have no knowledge. We don't know that you something. And Miss Bumpus says he hasn't been able to do anything, speak to anyone. Lil Woody says the jail system is down. Dang. So he wasn't able to talk to anybody the whole weekend. And y'all still putting people in. They don't care. Miss Hilton said, that's the part I don't know. I know we have been in communication with your sister. Your sister actually texted Mrs. Langsquist. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know. To make sure you were okay. We told her we physically laid eyes on you. I'll leave that up to the sheriffs. I don't know. Brief pause. Lil Woody said, so what do you think she's saying? Miss Hilton says, I can tell you right now. Lil Woody says, I'm talking about that locking me back up. Miss Hilton says, we would have to bring charges. There would be no incentive. And Lil Woody said, y'all will. I'm with them. They'll find something. Miss Hilton said, we've already had that discussion. No, you haven't. You've been talking in circles. ADA Hilton. Like, you're giving this man no assurance. To be honest, man, as long as this case, I think Lil Woody should hold out and just plead the fifth again, man. Just like, give it up. But just trash this whole case. This is some BS. I can't believe this meeting. Like, I'm going to do the jail. I know he doesn't want to go back to jail, but this case is probably going to be over before it started, because this is just him being strong-armed into not only testifying, but to not even having his right to plead the fifth is crazy. Look, he says, look what you did to me. You waited until Friday and did this. I done told you every day before Friday came, I was pleading the fifth. She says, no, you didn't. As a matter of fact, our last conversation, Judge Glanville says, Lil Woody, let's see if we can get beyond this. No, he doesn't trust y'all. Okay. Beyond what is your concern? You could have invoked the fifth. No, what? You could have invoked the Fifth Amendment privilege. The state could have turned around and said, stop. Had me something. Go ahead and filed the motion and given you immunity. It was going to something. I mean, they make that decision. They decided to make it on Friday. So even if you would have been more comfortable testifying and invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege, they could decide you as a witness, they want your testimony more than they do invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege. So they give you immunity. So they get to decide what privileges you can and can't have. Is this, I mean, the only thing I could think of is is because he's either one, a convicted felon, and whatever they would essentially charge him with, or two, this is just how the process goes. I don't know. They gave you immunity, so you've got to testify truthfully as to what your knowledge of the particular incident is. I mean, so they were going to something. They could have done that anyway. Even if they put you on the stand, they could have said stop and gone ahead and given you immunity. They could have done that. Yeah, but the reason they probably did is because he would have pleaded the fifth, and if they put him in jail or on probation for whatever he was going to be put back in jail for, he probably would have been out sooner than he would as if he had immunity in this case and had to testify and deal with all the consequences of that. It's just a bad deal overall. Little Woody, so can I get it in some type of writing that if I was to testify that if she feels as in I lied about anything, that they wouldn't be able to lock me back up? Judge Glanville says, let me have that, Miss Bumpus. Miss Bumpus hands document, brief pause. Okay, Lil Woody on page 2 of the order pursuant, blah, blah, blah. However, no testimony given by Lil Woody as required under this order or any information directly or indirectly derived from the testimony of Kenneth Copeland given by Kenneth Copeland as required under order shall be used against said Kenneth Copeland in proceeding or prosecution for a crime or offense concerning which he testifies under this order. All right. Okay, so you testify about some aggravated assault or murder. They can't prosecute you on it because that is what it says in the order. Well, it says that's not what it says. It says they testimony given required by this order or any information directly or indirectly derived from the testimony can be used against him. It doesn't say they can't prosecute him. It's just, why do they keep saying this? It doesn't say they can't prosecute him. It says they can't use the testimony or information directly or indirectly derived from the testimony. So they keep lying to him. Woody, I hope you're watching this, man. Okay, so you testify about some aggravated assault or murder. They can't prosecute you on it because that is what it says in the order. That's not what it says, Judge Glanville. Okay, the only thing that will get you in trouble is this next little paragraph. Lil Woody shall be subject to prosecution or penalty or forfeiture for any perjury, false swearing, or contempt committed in testifying or failing to testify in accordance with this order. However, it is ordered that Lil Woody shall not be required to produce evidence that can be used in any other court in the state, the United States, or any other state. So basically, if you commit perjury, false swearing, or contempt committed in testifying, that means if you just invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege or failing to testify, you say, I'm not going to testify. All right. So the only two things you can kind of get in trouble for are perjury and false swearing, as long as you tell the truth. Now, as Miss Hilton and Miss Bumpus said earlier, you may have told or been asked about situations over and over again. They may have changed. What the state is asking you is to tell the version that really is the truth. If they want to impeach you, they can do that. Or if the other side wants to impeach you, they can do that. You won't get in trouble for that. You said, I will. The court said, you will not. You will not. Impeachment is not perjury or false swearing. OK, Lil Woody said, but she said, I can purge myself. Miss Hill said, no. We're saying two different things. Sorry. Perjury is if you get on the stand and you say just a bold-faced lie, just something that is wrong. Say you say, I did something, and all the other times you said, I have not done it. And really, while it's still perjury, it's really just an inconsistent statement. Like if you get on the stand and say, I did X, but in 2015, you said, I never did X. That is what I'm going to impeach.